Alright, testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Thanks, James. Welcome back, guys. Thanks for smashing that like button, Carlos. I appreciate it. That does help me. And Boo. Hey, Branch, how's it going? Quite tired, he says. Hey, Kalma, how's it going? Alright guys, welcome back again, twice in the same night. So we were gonna stream Ys 3 for Super Nintendo. Unfortunately, the ROM I have, I guess the save system doesn't function properly on my flash cart. Noah Douglas was saying something a little bit ago about that. So either I had to find like a patched version or get an SD to SNES. So, no Ys 3, unfortunately, which is a major bummer, because I really wanted to go through the Super Nintendo version. So what we're gonna do is, you know, to keep the stream going, because I do still intend on streaming, is playing some Super Nintendo Doom. This is the actual cartridge this time, because I don't have an SD to SNES, which recently got Super FX compatibility. I don't know how well it works with Doom, but, so we are using the real cartridge for this one. And, thanks to having a FrameMeister, I've also enabled the zoom function on the FrameMeister, so the game will actually take up more of the screen, which is quite nice. The original Doom on Super Nintendo probably only takes up about 3/4 of your TVs, or your television screen space. Maybe even smaller than that. It's a smaller window, it's not a full screen game. But with the zoom function, we can go ahead and, you know, get it maxed out, or close to it. So, yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna play this game. We're gonna play on the Nightmare difficulty setting. I did a series of Let's Plays on this a few years ago, and I want to say I played it on Nightmare in that series, but we're gonna do it again. So yeah, so we need to actually, hit a new game, select Nightmare, and then pick Episode 1. So, since this is actually a new stream, I'm going to go ahead and do the Patreon shoutouts again. This will be a totally separate video from the failed Ys experiment we just went through, so thanks guys for your continued patronage. And likewise with the recent live stream Super Chatters. Notice that little green join button, that's actually underneath the video player, so anyone that's interested in supporting channels that have that available, feel free to look into that. You'll get some cool emotes and a funky color on your name text in the chat. So, but yeah, thanks everyone for supporting the channel. And let's go ahead and play some freaking Super Nintendo Doom. What do you think, Boo? It says it right in the title. Do you think I would lie to you? Sorry, I'm just waiting for my preview to update here. Okay, there we go. I just want to make sure everything's good on the stream. Yeah. I have no idea what those are, Clifton. I haven't played much of Devil May Cry 3. I want to get to it someday. I tried it last October. but didn't really play it much. So maybe sometime this year I can try to really buckle down with that. But yeah, from what I understand, Devil May Cry 3 is a really hard game. So best of luck with that, man. Okay. So Super Nintendo Doom. I don't even really know what to say here. This will actually be a lot easier than other versions on Nightmare because enemies are kind of dumbed down in this version in a way, but also things like your pistol actually work a lot better in this than it does in, say, the PC version. With how, like, the auto-aim system works in this version, it really shouldn't be that hard to just, like, mow right through this game. You know, we'll see, but even if I die, I think we'll be able to recover just fine. Yeah, James, it's $5 a month, so it's not something I expect a lot of people to join in on. But it is there for people that are interested in that sort of thing. It's basically the equivalent of a Twitch subscription, which is also $5 a month. And basically, I think it's like 70 or 80% of that goes to the creator. So, you know, the fee that you're paying, not all of it's going to the creator, but a good portion of it is. Actually, it's more than it does on Twitch. On Twitch, it's only 50% goes to the creator. I think on YouTube it's 70. So it's a way of supporting the channel. It's while also getting, you know, a couple things back in return. So not everyone's down with Patreon, but some people might prefer to just go through the YouTube platform, and that's a way to do it. So. But yeah, and again, you'll get custom emotes and whatnot. So one of the emotes I've actually re-implemented is the Doom Guy. So whenever you guys see me use the Doom Guy emote, that's one of the custom emotes you get from joining up on the channel and doing that monthly subscription. Now, because I'm a smaller channel on YouTube, you can only do it through the YouTube gaming streaming application or on the live stream page if you watch on YouTube, like regular YouTube. Bigger channels have the join button on underneath every video, so hopefully they roll that out to, you know, us normal, non-full-time creators. That would definitely be nice. But as for right now, for me, it's only available when I'm streaming. Hey Carl, welcome to the stream. Yeah, we're gonna play some Doom. We were supposed to play East 3, but it was not working for us, unfortunately, so I'm gonna have to look into that and look for, you know, that fixed version of the ROM. Unless it just absolutely doesn't work with the EverDrive version 2. So I use a Super EverDrive, not an SD to SNES. And I haven't bothered to upgrade to the SD to SNES because it's hard to justify that, you know, $200 or whatever it costs. Especially right now, I can't really afford anything like that. But maybe one of these years I can finally do the upgrade. Hey, Boo Radley, thank you for your super chat, my friend. Hey, Austin, keep up the good work. Thank you, sir. You really want to hear, like, these muffled enemy sounds better, Carlos? Does it really enhance the experience that much for you? I mean, to me, it's like one of the reasons to play this version is to hear the music. And when you turn that off, you've eliminated almost all reasons to play this version. Yeah, like the auto-aim system in this version of the game works really well though, so I gotta give it that. Like, you could be just completely off and still hit the enemies. It's great. Sick, look at that. I wasn't even like directly aimed at that guy and I still hit him. So that's why I think this playthrough will probably go pretty smooth. I actually tried playing this on Twitch the other night and I got wrecked, but I was also drinking Steel Reserve, so that, yeah. Interesting night, to say the least. God, I hooked up so many different consoles that night, too. It was crazy. I think I bounced from the Genesis and Sega CD to the Jaguar to the Super Nintendo. And I had started off with Retron 77, the new 2600 clone. I was Jose, and I ran into a technical snag, as Ronnie said. Yeah, no East 3. I'm still sad about it. I wanted to play East 3, but it is not working for us. I mean, this works out too, because I did want to stream through Doom on Super Nintendo again, because my Let's Plays are several years old by this point, and I wanted to do an updated run with, you know, slightly better video quality, and whatnot, so, you know, like I said, this works out, but it's not what I was planning on, and not really what I wanted to play tonight, but it's okay. So what's interesting about this door here in the PC version, and pretty much every other version of the game, you have to shoot this wall to open it. In this version, you just open it normally. That's right, Guns. That is right. This uses the Super FX2 chip. Yeah, it's like this second iteration of the Super FX. Yeah, and because the auto-aim works so well in this version, I mean, if you see an enemy in the distance, you just, like, pop a few shots at it, and you will hit it. Like, pretty much guaranteed. It's like, the auto-aim even, it, like, seems to work even better at enemies in the distance. Which is nice. So, I think it's one of the compromises that was made for the game being so relatively unplayable. I mean, this version is truly an acquired taste. I have a soft spot for it because, well, I have a soft spot for just about everything Doom, but I also grew up with this version. It was the first version of Doom I really sunk a lot of time into. So, you know, it was really the only way I could personally play Doom, you know, until my dad got a better computer, or I got a PlayStation, or something like that. So, yeah. So I have a soft spot for it, but it is not a version of Doom I recommend really anyone play. let's switch back to our shotgun. Does this version support respawns in Nightmare? What do you mean by respawn? Do you mean just like restarting the level after you die? If so, yes it does. There is no permadeath in Classic Doom, period. Permadeath was just in Doom 2016 on Ultra Nightmare. Yeah, Saturn Doom is the most playable of the three, but I'd say it's probably still the most disappointing. I mean, you can't knock the Super Nintendo version that much because it's freaking Super Nintendo. Like, Doom on this should never have even been a possibility, but they got it. And so for that, you know, I have to tip my hat to them, the guys that made it. And I can sort of respect this version for that. With Saturn Doom, on the other hand, I know there's a story behind it, and trust me, I've got videos of pretty much every version of Doom on my channel, and trust me, I've heard it all. In the comment sections, I've heard it all. It is still the most disappointing because it should have been one of the better home versions of Doom. Ended up being one of the worst versions of home one of the worst home versions of Doom. And then the 3DO. Realistically, that probably should have been a great version as well, but it's got an interesting story behind it, so I kind of let it slide. When you hear the story of 3DO Doom, you're like, oh, that's why it is the way it is. It's a really great story, actually. But, you know, it is actually the worst version of Doom on console. To play, absolutely. Like, I'd rather play the Super Nintendo version than play 3DO Doom. And we did play through 3DO Doom. We did it either late last year or earlier this year. We ran through the entire game. Yeah, ran through the entire game. It was rough. But we did it. King Inferno, how's it going, man? Yeah, I actually did try Colorful Hell. I downloaded it this week. It's pretty cool. I like it. Colorful Hell, for those of you guys that don't know, it's a mod for Doom and Doom 2 that basically sort of like randomly changes the enemy types and styles. It's about all I can really explain about it right now. But I used it, I paired it with a WAD called Sunder, which is a very difficult WAD, and it was crazy. I couldn't actually get past the first room of any map on that WAD. It was, yeah, it was pretty crazy. One thing I do like about this version, though, is some of the maps are a little more faithful to the original computer versions. So, like, in all the id Software ports, there was no way to fall down from here. Likewise, you couldn't fall down in the center either. It was just one big, flat surface. The version of Doom that sparked the development of Super Noah's Ark 3D? You might be thinking, Wolfenstein 3D Noah. Because Supernova's Arc, from what I understand, ran on the engine that powered the SNES Wolf 3D. Have I tried the Genesis Doom? You mean 32X Doom? If so, then yeah, I've got videos of it on my channel. And we're probably going to revisit that one sometime soon as well. Probably in a live stream. Judson says this might be the toughest version of Doom. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't think it is. I mean, I think it's harder to get used to the controls. But actual, like, legitimate difficulty-wise, like, it's not nearly as hard as the Jaguar version on Nightmare. Or the 32X version on Nightmare. So one thing you can do is, on PC Doom, is when you start the game, you could, when you type in the executable name, you can type -fast, and you'll basically make the enemies, you know, fast mode enemies. They shoot a lot faster, they move a lot faster, they're a lot harder to deal with. And I believe on Nightmare on PC, the enemies are in fast mode by default. But you can actually play Ultraviolence with fast mode enemies on PC Doom by typing in that command when you run the executable. So 32X and Jaguar Doom on Nightmare use the same fast setting. So the enemies are super fast, they're very tough to deal with. Because on those versions of the game, you don't have individual strafe keys. You just hold down the strafe button and you move left or right. You can't circle strafe. So Jaguar and 32X Doom on Nightmare, much harder than this is. Like, much, much harder. That's something I want to do sometime soon as well, is I want to do specifically a Jaguar Doom stream where I try to go through the game on Nightmare, which I've never actually successfully done. Like, I've beaten Super Nintendo Doom on Nightmare a gazillion times, but not Jaguar Doom. I've never done it once. And I've tried. I've tried. We'll probably try to tackle the 32X version first because I think it's going to be a little bit easier. I just find the movement is a little bit snappier in the 32X one. Oh, no enemies out there. Huh, interesting. Yeah, in other versions, this, the outside perimeter is, full of imps. Interesting. Alright, so we're gonna go to the hidden map for episode 1. Now in this map in the beginning, you don't want to fall down into the swamp area because you can't get back up. There's no way to get back up. Clifton, finally destroy that damn statue. Nice. I think the 32X Doom is pretty solid, actually. People like to crap on it, but it plays really well. And you're freaking playing Doom on a Genesis, basically. I mean, yeah, you've got the 32X, but, I mean, it's kind of like... It's almost like Super Nintendo Doom in a way, where it's like, I really shouldn't be able to play any version of Doom on my Sega Genesis, but I am. And it's a solid version. It still plays well. And the thing about 32X Doom as well is it actually plays better than Jaguar Doom, just by a little bit. Guns is looking forward to October, aka Castlevania month. A special visit. Awesome stream. Thank you, sir. Probably not, DJ, no, because this game doesn't take 12 hours to go through. I mean, 32X Doom is not, like, the greatest version of Doom ever made. Not even close. It's just, there's this thing going around the internet, this common mindset that, like, 32X Doom is utter trash. It's like, what the hell are you guys talking about? Like, you know, putting things into perspective, I think, goes a long way, though. Like, contextualizing things. Like, I don't know, actually playing the damn game and then forming an actual, like, educated opinion helps, too, when you're talking about things like this. And also, when you're talking about a version of Doom on a sub-$200 add-on at the time, whereas if you wanted a PC that could play Doom properly, you needed, like, $1,000+ computer, probably a $1,500 or $2,000 computer. Computers were a lot more expensive back then, by the way. So you want to compare, like, a $200 version of Doom compared to a $2,000 version of Doom? Yes, there's gonna be a big difference. With all that considered, though, 32X Doom got people by. Just like good old crappy Super Nintendo Doom here got people by as well. Again, this is how I first experienced the game, and I loved it, man. Back in '95. The difference between this and 32X Doom is 32X Doom is actually still enjoyable when you play it. You know, all its flaws and everything, it's still a solid game. There are very, very few first-person shooters of quality on consoles from back then, and 32X Doom is one of them. It's one of the very few. 32X Doom, Wolfenstein 3D Jaguar, Wolfenstein 3D 3DO. You know, up until the PS1, there weren't that many solid first-person shooters on console. You had really janky ports of, like, Wolfenstein 3D on, say, Super Nintendo. Zero tolerance, eh. Again, putting things into perspective, I think, helps out a lot when you're talking about these things. Exactly, Ronnie. Exactly, man. Yeah, and this isn't really something that's, you know, something that had to do with 32X Doom in the 90s, but if you want to obtain like a real copy of 32X Doom today, it's still a really cheap game, because it was like, it was one of the better sellers on the system. So you can probably get a cart-only version for like $5 or $10, and then you can get a complete copy for like 15. You know, it's so like it still doesn't cost much to play 32X Doom. So it's like if you have a 32X and you want to experience, you know, a solid first-person shooter, basically on a Genesis, 32X Doom is still fun to go back to, you know, for that reason alone. So it's not the trash that people make it out to be, you know. Yes, it's not great compared to PC Doom. It's still a really solid game on its own, though, so... I mean, nothing's great compared to PC Doom, to be honest with you. Like, you know, as much as, like, the PlayStation version gets put on a pedestal, it's still a far cry from the PC game, if you ask me. I mean, especially when you're playing the PC version in modern source ports, you know, you've got 60 frames a second versus, like, 20. or just under 30. PlayStation Doom slows down a lot, too. Hey, Timu, how's it going, man? Yeah, believe it or not, Ronnie, I actually kind of agree with that. Saturn Quake plays like ass. Like, if actual ass could play, it would be in the form of Saturn Quake. That made absolutely no sense. Whatever, we're gonna roll with it. Alright, so we've got all the keys. Alright, so there's gonna be a secret here, but I want to try something after this. I actually got it to work in Jaguar Doom. Actually, I think it was 32X Doom I did it in. I don't think it was Jaguar Doom. Hey, Chris. I want that on a shirt, if actual ass could play. Yeah, what I want to try, I don't think it's going to work in this version, because we're not actually on the Doom engine, as far as I'm aware. This was a newly concocted engine just for this version of the game. From what I understand, the guys that made this engine basically like mocked up a Doom level or two or something like that. Sent it to John Romero, and John was like, "Do it." Like, you know, the second he saw it, he was like, "Make it happen." Yeah, one of the things about this version is you fall like a tank, man. Alright, so let's switch over to the chain gun just in case. So let me try something here. This might actually work. Let's see. Nope, it's not gonna work. So you can actually eclipse that gap. You can just hop right over it in the Jaguar or the 32X one. So you should be able to do it in the Jaguar version as well. And you could most likely do it in the PC version. I need to test it out. If you do strafe run 50. Real Doom, the DOS version runs at 35 FPS, yeah. but it's higher than 30, and that extra few frames a second actually makes it look and feel a lot smoother than something that runs at 30 or less. But if you use a modern source port, you can interpolate it to get it to run at 60 frames a second, and it's awesome. So one thing we're going to be doing in this version is avoiding the rocket launcher for the most part. I'm just going to use it at very select parts. But the blast radius in this version is much, much larger. And the rocket launcher is much, much, much more powerful. So if you get hit by any of that splash damage, you can actually kill yourself in one hit. It's pretty risky. So we're just not going to use it at all. Where would I rank the Super Nintendo version of Doom? Oh man. Well, I would rank it above the 3DO version, below the Saturn version. Because again, while the Saturn version is supremely disappointing, it does still play better. You know? I don't think you can really argue against that. I mean, it doesn't play great, but especially when you're playing in, like, you know, the first few episodes, you know, it's tolerable. The thing about Super Nintendo Doom is it does have some things I like a lot, like more than other versions of the game. Like, it's got one of the best soundtracks. One of the best Doom soundtracks ever. So music is a big deal to me as well. I think that's one reason I do still like to go back to this version. Oops, we missed it. Yeah, you can't get that back down, unfortunately. You know, I'd actually probably put Saturn Doom and Super Nintendo Doom on the same level. Like, Saturn Doom plays better, but Super Nintendo Doom sounds better. To me, like, I prefer this soundtrack. I'm one of those guys that actually prefers, you know, having music in Doom, and I'm not one of those guys that's like, you know, bends over for Aubrey Hodges, for his soundtrack. Like, that's cool and all, but I'd rather have traditional Doom music. That's Doom to me. And so Super Nintendo has that, and it's one of the only versions that has that. The 3DO soundtrack's amazing as well, but the gameplay is so trash that it's just not even worth bothering with. But Super Nintendo Doom, it's still playable to me, you know? It takes a while to get used to, but I mean, you can see I'm not really having that many issues with this right now, so. So yeah, I mean, Super Nintendo Doom, it's definitely, you know, a lower tier version of Doom. You know, if you have to put it in terms of good or bad or whatever, it's definitely one of the worst. But I appreciate it a lot because of what it did on a Super Nintendo. Yeah, as far as you know, the best version of Doom, you know, obviously the PC original is top tier. Like, there's no touching that, basically. As far as console versions, I mean, PlayStation Doom, I think you pretty much have to say that's the best one available on console from back in the day. I'm not even going to talk about the Xbox 360 or PS3 versions or whatever. And then just behind that would be the Jaguar version. And then I'd say 32X. And, you know, 32X, sometimes I might actually put it above the Jaguar version because, like I said, I think it's a little more responsive in its gameplay, in its, like, movement and things like that. It actually feels like the frame rate is, like, a few frames higher sometimes in the 32X one compared to the Jaguar version. And I think Digital Foundry actually confirmed this in their video. I need to go rewatch it. So those extra couple of frames actually helps a lot when it comes to, like, responsive controls. How well the controls respond. The other nice thing about 32X Doom is, you know, a lot of people complain that it doesn't have all the levels, and it's like, yeah, that sucks, but you know what I like? Is not having to spend 2 or 3 hours getting through Doom, you know? I can go through, like, the 17 maps or whatever it has in, like, an hour and a half. Have a good little experience, and then shut it off and go do something else, you know? And still feel like I beat the game, you know? Without feeling like I missed out on anything. Yeah, I'd say PS1, Jaguar, 32X, then Saturn, Super Nintendo, 3DO. Ugh. Am I missing any other Dooms from back in the day? I don't think I am. That's right, Christopher Margo. That version of Doom is still better than a lot of games. Sad but true. Oh yeah, GBA. I always forget about that version. GBA Doom, yeah. Okay, GBA Doom, I would put... I think I'd put it just below the Jaguar version. So, Jaguar, GBA, then 32X. I think the big reason I'd put GBA Doom below the Jaguar version is it's got a lower resolution, so it's kind of like looking at Super Nintendo Doom here. It's harder to see what's going on. And they, like, messed up the soundtrack. All the music tunes are in the wrong slots. So that's kind of jarring, too. But it plays really well. You know, it's basically the Jaguar version, you know. They use that source to port it to the Game Boy Advance. And the Jaguar source was the basis for most ports of Doom back in the day. You know, it was the basis for PlayStation Doom, Saturn Doom, 32X Doom, 3DO Doom, Game Boy Advance Doom. Hey, Hernando. I'm good, man. How are you? Welcome back to the stream. Yeah, I wasn't planning on streaming Doom tonight, but East 3 on Super Nintendo was not working right for us, so we had to switch to something else, unfortunately. Although there is a bright side to this. This means I don't have to keep my Super Nintendo hooked up for the next week. Like I was going to. I was going to keep it hooked up to do Doom Super Nintendo on Thursday. But now that we're not going to stream Doom Super Nintendo on Thursday, because we're doing it right now, I can unhook my Super Nintendo after this stream. Yeah, Delta, we actually just talked about GBA Doom. Were you not listening? Or were you not here? One of the two? I don't care. Alright, let's switch over to our chain gun. I'm not gonna get it running correctly, Carlos. Thanks, but no thanks. There's a Doom mod for Stalker, really? Is it any good? It's probably because you're looking at chat within the stream itself, Delta. Look in the chat itself. Never mind. I'm not even gonna bother. I have to explain this crap like every other stream. It's so irritating. So irritating. Oh, that's right, I didn't hit the switch. I'm an idiot. Reading is fun and fundamental. Ronnie knows. That makes absolutely zero sense, Delta. Or do you not know how to read? See, there's a difference. If you don't know how to read, I might suggest working on that. And actually getting on top of that one. Still gonna have lots of enemies on screen in this port. Yeah, I don't know. Definitely doesn't have as many enemies as other ports, that's for sure. But I think that's another reason why it's, even on Nightmare, it's still easier than other versions. Because you really don't have as much that you have to worry about. Hey, Lynch Media, thank you, sir. I'm glad you enjoy the videos. We're gonna have to continue that Gauntlet Legends stream sometime soon. Yes, there are, Judson. There's actually a total conversion of blood for the Doom engine. But a lot of WADs have a tendency of using enemies from blood. And sometimes the guns. Holy crap, dude. Stop bouncing around. He's like a pinball. Alright, I'm gonna actually go back and get some more ammo. I know there's some shells left over. Or not. Yeah, I have no idea, Judson. I haven't played Stalker. Never really had a desire to. Yeah, so one thing, if you've never seen this version before, you'll notice that you don't actually see the items left behind by enemies. So you still want to walk over the bodies, though, because you will still pick up the weapons. See, like, there was a shotgun. Carlos is the John Madden of Austin Street. You don't want to use the rocket launcher here. It's really dangerous. I need to play Blood GDX. We should probably try to get that up and running soon, Ronnie. Man, I'm getting hungry again, too. Ugh. Bad combination, playing Super Nintendo Doom while hungry. Yeah, so one of the things about this level is that it's more faithful to the PC version. And so a few parts can actually be pretty dangerous here. So one of the areas that's pretty dangerous is when we go through the yellow key door. Taking things into perspective, I couldn't believe I was playing Doom on my Super Nintendo way back then. Yeah, exactly, man. Right? I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna go out of my way and recommend this to people that are like first-time Doom players. Like, yeah, you should buy the Super Nintendo. No, don't. Especially not for the price like it probably goes for these days. I think it's like a $30 or $40 cartridge now. But, you know, when you put it into perspective, and you're like, oh, at the time, this was, you know, it was a way for kids to play Doom. Or anyone to play Doom, not just kids. But this is how I played it as a kid. Yeah, you'll notice that there are gaps at the top there. Enemies can actually shoot from there. And back in the day, I actually died quite a bit here. Because I'd be getting hit, but not know how I was getting hit. And... huh, weird. There's nobody up there. thought enemies were supposed to be up there. That's weird. Okay. Yeah, exactly, Ronnie. I mean, acquiring a copy of PC Doom these days is pretty trivial. And anyone that's looking to try Doom for the first time, I definitely recommend doing that. But not just that, but getting a source port to go along with it. So you buy the game on Steam or GOG or whatever, and then you take those files and you download a source port, which is basically a modern port of Doom. Whereas if you buy Doom on Steam, it's just using DOSBox, which is an old form of DOS emulation. It's been around for a long time. And it's okay, you know, but for Doom, like, you're still locked at the 35 frames a second. DOSBox has to be tweaked a lot in order to get it looking good. It can have performance issues, you know, so the source port will fix all that and give you a whole lot more options as well. So that's how I recommend getting into Doom these days, is, you know, in order to use the source port, you do have to have the original Doom source files, which is why you buy, like, the version on Steam or something like that. And then you just take those files, the source port can point to them, and then it'll function. And then the other great thing about the source port is it's a lot easier to download other maps and campaigns and whatnot, and mods and things like that. So not only do you get classic Doom played in probably its best form, you get the bonus of having extra features and campaigns and maps and all that stuff. There's a never-ending supply of Doom maps that you can download for free. Never heard of it, Judson. Never heard of it. Never heard of it. Probably don't really care that much. As usual, you are the master of talking about stuff that just goes right over my head. Radiation shielding suit. Yeah, exactly, Ronnie. Super Nintendo Doom, I mean, one thing that's cool about it is that the levels are, in many ways, more faithful to the PC versions than the versions that id Software actually made for the other ports. It's pretty cool in that regard. And while you don't have, like, ceiling or floor textures in this version, it is really cool seeing, you know, more faithful texture usage on just wall textures, or the walls, blah. Alright, so there's a secret here. This opens up after, I believe, you hit one of the switches in the other areas. There's partial invisibility. Yeah, all things considered, we are doing pretty well, though. I mean, I've only come close to, well, sort of close to dying once, so. Hey, Town of Horrors, welcome back, man. I like that the partial invisibility actually works really well in this version. Like, these guys don't even know I'm here, even though I'm shooting in their face. So that's pretty cool. In the PC version, they'll still see you. Once you fire, they'll all wake up and start coming after you. So I like how that power was actually made more useful in this version. That's one of the things about partial invisibility is I've always found that it was one of the least useful power-ups in Doom. Especially if you play a WAD with lots of projectiles, like lots of projectile-based enemies, because it actually makes them harder to deal with. Because projectile-based enemies in PC Doom, when you're partially invisible, they won't aim straight at you. So when you're just trying to dodge left or right, you know, because they're normally projectile enemy firepower is very, very predictable. They always shoot where you are. So as long as you're constantly moving, they're going to miss. You know, it's that simple. With partial invisibility, they'll shoot like farther to the left or farther to the right. So it actually makes it harder to dodge projectile-based enemy fire. Alright, so this is where we're gonna actually use our rocket launcher. Finally. But what I'm gonna do is, I think there are gonna be some pinky demons up here. I'm gonna try to kill them first if they are. Yeah, they are. It's been a while since I've really gone through this version. Like, I played it a little bit on Twitch the other night, but I didn't make it very far. So I want to kill these guys first before I bust out the rocket launcher, because they'll get in my way, and then I'll kill myself in one hit. Actually, we could probably switch now. And look at that, I killed that Baron in like 2 rockets. Granted, I had shot him a couple times with a shotgun. But still, I mean... In PC Doom, the Barons take at least 5 rockets to kill. Maybe 6 if you don't get, like, good direct shots. So you can't read the text if you've got the zoom function on. Let me turn that off real quick. It's one of the awesome things about having the Frame Meister is you can zoom in. So we had the gameplay zoomed in. Yeah, no, I don't have PlayStation Quake 2. I do plan on playing through the PC version sometime, but I haven't done it yet on this channel. Lynch Media says, when they first played Doom, he honestly thought it was a Sega exclusive at the time. Yeah, it kind of felt like it when it first came out, because it was the first version of Doom, first console version of Doom to make it to market, I think. Yeah, so you can see how small the screen size is. And now we zoom in, and there we go. Alright. Just flip those, go get the red key. And now we're gonna go back. Let's get the plasma gun here, assuming we don't die in the process, which is entirely possible. This is probably the best iteration of the plasma gun, because while it doesn't shoot as fast as the one in the PC Doom, it is insanely powerful. Like, just like the rocket launcher, they actually made it more powerful. But it only uses one slot of ammo. So it's just extremely, extremely useful. Hey, Will the Hatter? Yeah. Are you serious, man? Thanks, John Madden. Thanks. Yeah, I think it's probably wise just to get this armor first. Because the room, the hidden room past the blue key is pretty dangerous, and if I've got 200 armor, then I take less damage. Ronnie, you did start a new thing. It's glorious. Yeah, that was the better way to do it. Ronnie, feel free to pull it back a little bit, man. Be nice. Hashtag, at least it's not 3DO Doom. Alright, level 2. Man, the enemies did not mess around in this game when they're up close. We're gonna skip those cacodemons right there. It is interesting how, when you run out of ammo on one weapon, it seems to switch to the higher tier guns. Which can be really dangerous. So, like, you know, If you're using the chain gun, you're surrounded by enemies, and you run out of ammo, and it switches to the rocket launcher. If you don't know that's gonna happen, you're gonna use the rocket launcher by accident and kill yourself. Yeah, in PC Doom, it switches to a lower tier weapon. It'll switch to the rocket launcher last, like if it's the only option. Yes, Judson, we streamed it last year. I've got a full gameplay, full playthrough of it. So just search for Faxanadu on my channel, you will find it. Yeah, it feels like this is, like, classic PC Wolfenstein 3D, where the hit-scan enemies can actually shoot through each other. Alright, so the secret map is actually in a different spot in Super Nintendo Doom. So we're gonna access it from this level. I feel like this room is more dangerous, too. Alright, I wanted to try to kill all the enemies, but I'm not going to worry about it. Alright, secret level. I'm not... You didn't really listen to what I actually said, Carlos. I said hit scan enemies. You do know what hit scan enemies are, right? They're not projectile-based enemies. Townahars is tired of blowing his toaster. That could be taken so many different ways. That almost did me in. I probably should have grabbed the rocket launcher first. That's why I said it like that. Oh, man. Yeah, scrolling through your weapons in this version is really slow, too. But that's it, we did it. All right. Hey, Crestline, welcome back. Alright, so it'll help a lot if I don't die here. Because when you die, you lose all your weapons. And losing my plasma gun here would probably be bad. Speaking of which, we're going to switch back to it. Hey, it's all good, Crestline. I know you guys can't make them all. Yeah, I don't know. In PC Doom, you have to activate one of these things to lower this. I don't know how to do it in this version. I'm not gonna worry about it. Pro tip, shoot the cyber demon to kill it. Yes, Crestline. Yeah, there's a big difference. The biggest difference is that on PC Doom, Nightmare has infinitely respawning enemies. So it's very, very difficult. Super Nintendo Doom, the enemies are just, I think, a little bit faster. That's about it. You might take more damage too, I'm not sure. Yeah. Nightmare on PC Doom basically requires you to speedrun it. Like, you have to know exactly where to go in Nightmare on PC Doom. Otherwise, you are going to get wrecked. That's one of the great things about it, though. There's just so much replay value in classic PC Doom. I'm going to eventually tackle Nightmare on PC. I was practicing it a couple years ago, and I managed to get a few levels in. So yeah, we'll make it happen one day. Alright, this should also crush you too. Yep. Alright, so there's a secret here you can get with the plasma gun. Let's go ahead and do it. Part of the reason to do this is I think you teleport to where you need to go anyway. See? Yep. You have to come here and hit that platform in order to make the main teleporter appear, which will take you to the exit. And that's it. So let's go ahead and just exit. I'm not going to worry about these enemies. And we're going to fall down here, flip this switch, and then quickly not book it onto that. I was going to say. And we don't want to fall down. And that platform just rose up. So I get to show off the fake exit on this map, which is pretty cool. The fake exit was taken out of other versions. You know, because this map in particular was heavily condensed in the other console ports. I don't know, Judson. You did just tell me. And if you wanted to act like, you know, you never actually wrote anything, I would say, and then you ask me a question like that, I'd say I don't really care. Would not really be impressed because I don't really care. How about some video game talk, guys? Anybody out there like video games? Who here likes video games? Raise your hand. Who here likes Doom? Who here likes Super Nintendo? Hey, Mark, how's it going, man? Yeah, me too, Crestline. This is probably one of the creepier stages in the game. Partly because it gets really dark, and partly because of, like, the ominous music that goes with it. It's pretty awesome. I like Nintendo in general. Hey, Smithereens! I'm doing okay, Mark. Doing okay. Alright, here's the fake exit. This is actually a really dangerous room. But then again, I have the partial invisibility, so it's not as big of a deal. Okay, awesome. We got some Super Nintendo fans in here. That's great. Yeah, see, it just switched me to the rocket launcher. Like, I almost kept firing because of that. I didn't catch that it switched to the rocket launcher. We could have been dead there very, very quickly. Alright, let's go back to the plasma gun. No, you never owned one. Alright, someone ban Delta ZX, please. He doesn't belong here. Judson, can you ever, like, ask a question without prefacing it with remember? Just wondering if it's even, like, within your capability. Please let me know. Unfortunately, never owned an SNES, but was fortunate to play one. Oh, jeez, Ronnie. Oh, man. Yeah, that would be nice, Judson, actually. You know, that would be more like, you know, talk to me like a normal person. Like, you know what's great about not adding the word remember in front of everything is you're not assuming said person has actually played what you're talking about. Whenever you put remember? No, I don't remember because I've never played it. So how am I supposed to remember it if I've never played it? You see how that works, Judson? But actually, I do remember Darius Twin, because I have played it. The point is not making that assumption. Assumption. I can't talk. Plus, it gets irritatingly predictable. So just talk like a normal person. Do you remember Darius Twin? That's pretty easy, isn't it? Pretty easy. This is like gonna turn into a speech class. How to Talk 101 with your host, Angry Austin. Darius Twin's okay, Mark. It's not bad, but it's not great, you know. I think it's a pretty average Darius game. Like, I think it's probably worth playing, but you know, it's no Gradius 3 or Super R-Type or UN Squadron, you know. Oh, throwing Super R-Type in there is gonna make me look bad, because people apparently have a personal vendetta against that game that I don't really understand. But I digress. Dude, on my SNES Shmups video from Worst to Best that I posted like 4 years ago, I still get nasty comments on it, man. Oh, WTF, how you gonna trust a video where a guy puts Super R-Type above Space Megaforce? Duh, this guy's a douchebag. It's like, you know, I've actually played lots of Super R-Type, so like, you know, I might actually enjoy it. I don't know. And you remember playing games on the Hyperscan? I don't. I don't either, because I've never played a Hyperscan. It's one of the few, like, you know, sort of readily available consoles in North America that I never played. But I hear it's pretty bad. So, what's wrong with Super R-Type? I don't think there's a lot wrong with it, to be honest with you. A lot of people don't like the checkpoint system. It's like, sorry, get better. A lot of people complain about the slowdown. Sorry, there are other Super Nintendo games with way worse slowdown. I don't know. It's almost like I wouldn't even put it on like the same level as 32X Doom, and that one gets trashed on too. I think the big part of it is people just suck at shooters, and Super R-Type is not an easy shooter at all. Like, it's very memorization based, so... Oh well, it's their problem, not mine. Like, you won't get a gazillion lives in Super R-Type like you do in Space Megaforce. And, you know, you actually get really punished for your mistakes. Unlike Space Megaforce. So... But people don't like that. They don't like real challenge. You're casual players, but your casual players make up the majority of the retro gamer fan base. I do find it interesting that it seems like the enemies in this, the projectile-based enemies, like, predict your movement. So if I'm holding down the right trigger, he's gonna shoot more to my right. Which I never noticed that before. They don't do that in PC Doom, unless you've got the partial invisibility. Yeah, I mean, a lot of SNES shmups did have bad slowdown, but I mean, a lot of Super Nintendo games had bad slowdown. I mean, look at something that's top tier, like Mega Man X. It's got a lot of bad slowdown. It's still an amazing game, you know? Same with Super Castlevania 4, still an amazing game. It's like, eh? Super R-Type contains satanic messages if you run it backwards in an emulator. Alright, so this is the Cyber Demon fight. What I'm going to want to do is try to kill all these lost souls first. Because they'll get in my way when I'm using my rocket launcher. Hey, buddy. Okay. Man, he's got way less HP in this. Yes, Judson, I've played every shmup released in North America on Super Nintendo. So yes, I have played it, yep. And yeah, slowdown in shmups actually helps with the difficulty. You know, regardless of platform. Guys, remind me to time out Judson after this level's over. Yeah, John, welcome. Hope you're doing well. I still want to play East 3. I'm still sad that didn't work. Ronnie. Oh man, sorry, Judson. Hey, no reason. Yeah, the E stream was a bust, man. So basically what happened is the ROM I was using, apparently the way it saves and loads data is weird, and it's not playing nice with my flash card. Either I had to find like a patched version of the ROM, or I have to get a different flash card. Based on what someone said in the chat earlier. Doom on SNES is very good. Well, I never thought I'd hear that from anyone other than Carlos. But yes, I do like Doom on Super Nintendo. Well, I have the ROM, Mark. It's just, it doesn't save and load data correctly. It crashes. Yeah, it's weird. Unless you have, like, the patched ROM that works. I don't know. And those Lost Souls just fly around like crazy. Yep, I agree, Crestline. Yeah, it's a great soundtrack. It is awesome. Oops, see, it switched me to the rocket launcher again, man. It's so irritating. It's like, dude, stop doing that. Yeah, this is gonna be kind of a pain without any ammo. And we're dead. Hey, at least we get to keep our weapons. I thought we were supposed to lose our weapons. Apparently not. God, you're fighting more with the stupid weapon system than you are, like, the game itself. Like, I run out of ammo and it switches to the freaking rocket launcher. It's like, dude, why are you doing that? It's so retarded. David Milligan, hello? Twice, I guess? You thought I mentioned in my SLP that I keep my weapons. I don't know, did I? That Let's Play is like 3 years old, dude. I wish my memory was that good, Mark, but I have no idea what I even said in that Let's Play. Because I've done like 200 Let's Plays since, so... not counting live streams. 200's probably a slight exaggeration. But easily over 200 after the live streams. I'm a little scared that you still remember that, Carlos, but thank you. Is Judson still timed out, or did he leave? The drums have finally joined us. Apparently they were correct, Mark. Apparently they were. Oh god, Ronnie. Oh man. I almost feel like weapons don't work as well, like the closer you are to the enemies. Like, I get the feeling a lot of times when I'm shooting pinkies or cacodemons with my shotgun that the shot just goes right through them. Yeah, when I'm back from a distance, like, it seems to just work better. And I don't even have to aim right because of the auto-aim. And I'm stuck. I'm out of ammo again. God, jeez, man. Wow. Where'd you go? I don't think he died. Okay. I am, East Coast. I'm in the Eastern time zone. United States. Alright, let's come down this way first. Mainly to get all this ammo. I don't know, Mark. I never use it. I should probably try it, but... eh. I know that with how, like, the collision detection works with your fists, like, they don't work very well either. So I just try to avoid it if I can. Did that even hit? Oh, it did. Okay. I couldn't tell. Yeah, of all the tunes in this game, I will say the track for this map is a little wonky. Where are the actual drum beats? Yeah, I do put EST in my descriptions. Yeah, otherwise no one would know exactly when to tune in. I'd be like, 9 p.m. And people would be like, what time zone 9 p.m.? I'm gonna save that Berserk. I'm not gonna use it. Actually, you couldn't argue that, Delta, because it doesn't actually do that, so... So ahead of its time, it even had dynamic music. Oh god, well let us know what happens, Carl. That is kind of interesting. Or he might not want to check that out, Delta. I mean, it sounds like the cops are already there, so... Just saying, I'm sure the guy is, you know, assuming he's alive, has plenty of help. Alright, probably a good time to start punching. Because I have no ammo. Alright, we're gonna flip this switch. And then flip this switch. And get killed! Fucking pinkies, man. No, they only have one view. No reason. Just like the 32X version. There's no reason to suck at that level so badly. I feel like I did something wrong in the first level. I've never seen that before. Credits on the title screen? That was weird. I actually technically didn't need to be resetting it. I could have just hit start. Yeah. Oh well. Oops. I'm sure you guys can tell I'm super thrilled right now to be playing this. Yeah, I mean, Carlos, no hammer time, man. I'm gonna start sending you a bill once I, you know, as I break stuff in my collection. I'm gonna say, this is because you instigated me. It's an immersive hell simulator. It kind of is. No, I'd still rather play this. Saturn Quake is a piece of garbage. I just had to alter my strategy. The problem was I was just running out of ammo. That was it. If I had ammo, I would have been fine. Yeah, I'm sure it's really fun watching other people break their own things, but like when it's your own things, it's not as fun as it sounds. Or it's not as fun as it looks. Trust me. 12:16. I'm trying to think. I think I might actually order pizza again tonight. And after the stream, I have to edit a couple Let's Plays. And, after that, I think I might do a short stream again on Twitch of Final Fight Arcade. See if I can make some better progress at that tonight. Ronnie, I think he's scared away Judson because he hasn't been back. Ronnie timed him out and he hasn't been back yet. But in SNES Doom, everything's taken slowly. Level 4? Yeah, we got to level 5 last night on 1 credit. But, I mean, it also depends on your settings. Like, I've got, extra life extends at 200,000 points. Where the first extends at 100,000, and every 200,000 up until 1,000,000 will give you an extra life. So that definitely helps a lot. Yeah, you know, I think we actually made it all the way up to Abigail on 1 credit. And then that's where we lost our last life. Remember? The joys of streaming. Japan version, you're masochistic. I don't think there's any difference between the regions, though. Because all the settings are handled via the dip switches. Yeah, I set my dip switches just back to normal settings, but the difficulty goes a lot higher than that. But if there are differences between the difficulties in other regions, let me know. I am curious. Fewer 1-ups? Well no, that's adjustable via dip switch settings, John. I mean, I've never seen a 1-up in actual gameplay, for one. The only 1-ups I've been able to get have been score extends, and you can disable that completely. It all depends on what the settings are. default settings, it's 100,000 points, and then that's it. I believe. Or you can have it set to 100, then another 200, and then that's it. Wait, no, you can't. I think you can either have it set to no extra lives, or 100,000 points for the first extend, or 200,000 points for the first extend. Or you can have it set at one extend at 100,000 points, then another extend every 200,000 after. And then it'll stop giving you extra lives after 1,000,000 points. Yeah, but the score extends are based on dip switch settings, so it's not just like, you know, a universal thing. So, I actually watched his playthrough a couple years ago, which really got me wanting to finally try to 1cc the game. Of course, it was kind of hard to really try that because my monitor had been messed up, but I got it fixed a few months back. Default Western settings are more generous. Yeah, I don't think so, John. I think the default is pretty harsh on extends. So... there's nothing wrong with being a purist, dude. It's just about knowing what the actual defaults are, you know? See, in the arcade version, there are actually 3 banks of dip switches controlling all the settings. And I'd have to refer back to the manual to see what the actual defaults are. Assuming there are actual defaults. Technically, what the defaults are, assuming it's not written in the manual, the defaults are whatever came from the factory. And whoever got their grubby hands on that board before shipping it out. Because again, this era of arcade machine, or arcade game, was not controlled by software settings. It was physical, hard switches that controlled it. I'm gonna have to look into that later. I'm gonna have to download the US Final Fight manual. Weird is not wrong. Yeah, I didn't really want to trigger this guy yet. Yeah, it'll be over on Twitch. So I'll probably go live, you know, like, I don't know, maybe a half an hour to an hour after YouTube. Like, the second I'm done with this stream, I'm gonna order pizza. And then, get to editing those Let's Plays. I basically want to have them rendering while I'm doing the Twitch stream. That way I can have them uploaded afterward, and then... I mean, this week's Let's Play is already good for, you know, YouTube. But for Patreon backers, I don't have any recorded right now, so I have to... Well, I should say, I don't have them rendered yet. That's what I meant. So that's what I need to do. Also want to get it done so I don't have to worry about it this week. Oh, exclamation equal means not? Okay, I didn't know that. Sorry, guys. Hey, girl geek. Welcome back. Yeah, busy, man. I'm just, I need a break. I mean, I'm glad I did the 2 Let's Plays I did, so that's cool. Mr. Reserve is feeling good. Oh, man. Hey, I'm happy that you're happy, Taunaharis. And we were gonna play East 3 again tonight on Super Nintendo, but the save functionality is not working on my flash card. And if I try to save the game and then reload it, it glitches out and the whole thing crashes. Which is why we switched to Super Nintendo Doom. Because, I had the Super Nintendo out from the other night. Plus, I was planning on doing East 3. But I have, you know, since it was out, I thought about doing Super Nintendo Doom on Thursday. But thanks to East not working, we're just doing it right now. It's not the same name, it's A Mackert on Twitch. But yeah, the link is in the description. For anyone that wants to check that out. Like I said, I'll be going live there probably a half an hour to an hour after this stream tonight. And just like this morning, I'm going to be doing arcade gameplay of Final Fight. I don't know how many runs we're going to do. Maybe 2-ish, maybe more. We'll see how I feel. The thing is, it takes like an hour to go through Final Fight. It's actually longer than I remember. Well, the problem with that, Taunaharis, is I don't have the game. And my Turbo Duo is not having a good time with CDRs right now, so it makes it kind of hard to do that. Or if I do it, I'd have to resort to emulation. And I don't really want to resort to emulation. Because I've got an actual Turbo Duo, like I'd rather just play it on it if I can, but... yeah. No, that's bad. Yeah, trust me, man. Like, if my Duo was reading CDRs, I would go burn a copy right now, and then we could play it later. But... yeah, it's... well, I haven't tested it, Girl Geek, since I got it back from Starland. But remember, they tried it with original discs, and they said it was perfectly fine. It's just my CDRs I have, it does not like... but... they worked perfectly fine a few years ago, so it's like I don't think there's really anything wrong with the discs. Ever contemplated doing the other East games? Yeah, absolutely. But you just got to keep in mind that I'm not super experienced with the series. Like, I play the first one, the third one, and then the remake of the third one. And that's about it. You know, I dabbled with Ark of Nepishtim for like an hour when it came out, but that's it. So it's just a matter of me playing them, usually on Twitch. If I do it on Twitch, then I'll probably do it on YouTube. You know, I just have to be able to get through them for the first time. Let's actually come down here. Yes, invincibility. I like how the whole screen goes white in this version. In some other versions it doesn't. It'll go... You know, the colors are weird. BFG. Yeah, are those any good though, Tanaharis? Like East 4? I heard East 4 was kind of like, meh. Bioforce gun. Hey, it's okay, Tanaharis, as long as you're not, you know, saying, remember, you know, you're attacking on remember in front of everything. You finally streamed earlier and you're exhausted. Right on. Well, awesome. I mean, hopefully you had fun. Kind of like I was saying, like, you know, you shouldn't force yourself to stream if you're not having fun. But if you're having fun, then do it. So yeah, I hope it was a good stream. Oh, I definitely like it when you guys kind of like fanboy over certain things, because you know, it kind of gets me thinking about those games, and I might be more likely to give them a try, you know? Like, you guys kind of fanboying over East 3 is actually one reason why I even bothered to stream it. It's because the intent was to stream it eventually, but... Are you serious? That still hit me? Dude, the splash damage with the rocket launcher is dumb in this game. So dumb. But yeah, you guys like kind of hyping it up got me to fire it up sooner than I was planning on, so... You know, sometimes what you guys talk about does influence what I actually stream. You were testing out your genocide. Oh, East 5 is the one people are usually mad about. Interesting, I thought it was East 4. Okay. Well, I'll give it a try. I'll see if, like, the save system works. No video, huh? Interesting. Don't listen to Timu. He actually hates the Mega Man series. It's his least favorite of all time. And by fanboying over, he means he actually fanboys over hating the series. I do have a lot of Doom fanboys on my streams, yeah. I mean, I technically should be considered one, I guess. Can't think of a single positive aspect of the Mega Man series. God, that series is terrible. That went completely over Delta's head. Oh, man. Man, now I want to play some classic Mega Man, though. We might have to do another classic Mega Man stream, guys, where I go through, like, all 6 NES games again. We haven't done that since last year. No wonder they're called Crapcom. All because of that stupid Mega Man series. Yeah, we're being facetious, Delta. The 24-hour stream? Oh, geez, man. Yeah, the one that didn't archive properly because I went over the 12-hour mark. Yeah, that was something. Juicy rockets. There's another BFG. Yeah, I've told people I probably won't do a 24-hour stream ever again. Or if I do, they're gonna have to be some, like, major strings attached. Because, I've done 2 now. I did one on YouTube last year. Not last year, the year before. Almost 2 years ago now. Wow, it's been that long. And then I did another one on Twitch, like, a week or 2 later. Because the first one was so much fun, I was like, man, I need to do this again. And the second one was just as hard as the first one, but wasn't anywhere near as fun. And I was like, man, yeah, this isn't really worth it. It's super hard on your body. You end up sleeping for, like, the next day and a half. I played a little bit of ZX Town of Horus. I played, I can't remember if it was the first one or second one. But I got a good way into the game, but then got lost, and then I kind of gave up, you know? John got it. I was like, yeah, you know, if people pay me to do it, I might consider it again, but... otherwise, I'm better off, you know, focusing my energy on other things. Well, you know the saying, no reason, like... anything can be bought, it just depends on the price. Or something like that. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, Town of Horus. Yeah, lack of progression. I will admit, when my YouTube channel, when it's in periods of more constant growth, I have more fun with it because I don't feel like I'm stagnating. Like, that growth is part of the enjoyment, you know? It's the same with Twitch, too, like, you know... the streams where I have a lot more people watching are usually the ones that are the most fun. I'm just trying to use my invincibility. I mean, same with YouTube. I mean, like, if I have a stream with, like, 50 people watching, like we've almost got right now, I usually come out of the stream feeling a lot more satisfied than with the streams where I have, like, 15 people watching. It's just a part of it, you know? Yeah, if you ever get into ZX, Timu, let me know what you think of it. Mega Man X9, you're not the first person to mention that. Did they actually announce that? I don't think they did. Or if they did, maybe I just missed it. I will say, if they do make another X series game, it'll be interesting to see what it turns out like without, you know, the old guard there. No more Keiji Inafune. Mega Man 11, by the way, I think looks pretty fun. I'm definitely going to buy that when it comes out. I wasn't impressed with the visuals, but once I saw actual, like, boss gameplay, I was pretty impressed. I was like, yeah, this looks like it's going to be a legit fun challenge, you know? Alright, I'm gonna save that invincibility sphere. Getting lost. Where is it? There it is. Well, actually, this isn't right where to go. Whatever. Yeah, see, what I want is the invincibility for accessing the secret stage. And the secret stage is accessed through here. Oh, never mind. Okay, so you can just run right into it. Back in the day, I would get the invincibility and use the rocket to splash me back. Oops, crap. I didn't mean to fall down like that. Ugh. Hey, Catherine, how's it going? I like pixels. Yeah, I guess it is morning now, technically. It's almost 1 a.m. my time. Nexus says hi too. Awesome. Yeah, the Super Nintendo version of Doom does kind of look like Wolfenstein in a way. Especially after you look at Wolfenstein on Super Nintendo. Yeah. Alright, just a couple more levels and that's it. Actually, this is the final real stage in the game. You can do it! Yeah, we streamed that a couple weeks ago, Catherine. I ended up going through the whole game. It was a long stream. It's not really a maze, Carlos. You just gotta know where to go, man. You know, you learn where to go, and then it's easy. So, I mean, you always come here first to get the blue key. And then, guess what? You go to the blue door, because now you've got the blue key. Yeah, you can do it! Like, you can't take that any other way, Town of Hearts. It's just not physically possible. Do it for Judson. Who knows where Judson is? He's probably in a different dimension now, for all we know. Knowing him. But yes, you come back out. Wherever out is. How about using the map? Look at that! There is a map in this game. Crazy, huh? Super Nintendo version's got everything. Best version ever. Yeah, there is one maze part in this map, but you really don't have to even play it like a maze, because the place you need to go is like right at the beginning of it. So, like right here, you just go left. Go left. I'm stuck on the wall. Look at this. Left. Great. Great. So... blah, 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 blah. Don't go through this teleporter. That's the mistake I used to make all the time. So you get the red key. Flip the switch. Flip another switch. Woo! So complicated! Now go through the teleporter. It's rocket science. Now you can come over here. And you can flip this switch. And you can kill lots of these idiots. I hate these guys. I think that was the best zinger Carlos has ever done. The best zinger Carlos has ever graced us with. Okay, so now we'll go back. And apparently I'm good at running around in circles. Mm-hmm. Yep. Plutonia map 11. Absolutely. Screw that map. And another one flew over Delta's head. That's okay. The less you know about Plutonia, the better, most likely. Okay, so now we come here. We shoot these dudes. Bam, bam, bam. So complex. So deep. I need to go to the other one. Oops. Fortunately, you can get back up here. So you come over here. Over here. And you flip a switch. And then you run back. Yay. Get the key. I wonder if I can run across there. I don't think I can. I'm gonna try it. Nope. I feel like in the PC version I should be able to. Alright. Now we're gonna come back. Open this door. Flip the switch. Yay, switches. And we're gonna come back again. And we're gonna run around here. Yay. And look at that! We just beat the level, Carlos, so hard. Greetings, other half of Taunaharis. On the PC you can. Yeah, I figured you could use the strafe run, no reason. Unfortunately, that concept doesn't work here. I tried it earlier. And, yeah, we're just gonna maybe kill this guy in one hit. Whee! 2 hits. Did that seriously go through him? Or her? Yay! We just beat Super Nintendo Doom. Yeah, but you know, Carlos, here's a concept. You know, the second time you play Doom, or the third time you play Doom, or the 30th time you play Doom is not your first time. So you should know it by then. And it becomes easier. You made it sound like, God, it's still hard for me. Like, have you ever actually beaten the level and figured it out? Yeah, the climactic final boss. Oh, man. Well, to be fair, no reason. The Mastermind lasted longer in this version than it did in the PC version. Because you can one-shot it with the BFG in the PC one. The loathsome spider demon that masterminded the invasion of the moon bases and caused so much death has been beaten for all time. Well, until episode 4 at least, when it, you know, reappears a couple times. A hidden doorway opens and you enter. You've proven far too tough for Hell to contain, and now Hell at least plays fair. For you emerge from the door to see the green fields of Earth, home at last. And your buddy's head is on a stake. That's pretty effed up. I wonder what's been happening on Earth while you battled the evil unleashed. It's a good thing that no hell spawn could have come through that door with you. It's also a really good thing you could read, because if you couldn't, you'd have no idea what this is saying. There's no evil wall here. The evil wall is in Doom 2. Yeah, and Doom 2, and Doom 2016. I really like the Mastermind in Doom 2016. They did a really good job making that like a legitimate boss fight. So there you have it, guys. Super Nintendo Doom. In placement of Ys 3 that we probably should still be playing right now, but we can't. Because it broke. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I've been meaning to go back to this version for a while on stream, so I'm glad, you know, I can sort of put that one behind me, if you will. Yeah, good point. The Mastermind in 2016 Doom is not a hit scan boss, so that's really good too. Thank you, No Reason. It's not flashcards, Carlos. It's the game. Flashcards are great, dude. It's with how that specific game handles saves. That's all. That is all. Hey, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Timu. Maybe we'll see you on Twitch later, maybe not, I don't know. Hey, thank you, Tanaharis. Carlos with all those frowny faces. Carlos is clearly sad right now. He's a sad, sad man. Someone please say something funny to cheer Carlos up. Where's Ronnie when we need him? I'm trying to debate what my third item should be. Hey, thank you, Mark. I'm ordering pizza right now. Well, mostly chicken bites. I'm trying to figure out if I should even order pizza. He's a sad panda. Sad panda. Yeah, take care, Mark. Thanks for hanging out, man, as always. Hugs for Carlos. Yeah, we will see more Ys. He's a sad Captain Obvious. Alright guys, yeah, I'm gonna head out too. So take care, Tanaharis. Sleep well, man. I don't know, Delta. Is Ys 3 on Genesis? You tell me. I don't remember. Did I stream that on Thursday? Does Ys 3 on Genesis exist? I'm gonna have to go look into that. Yeah, I know. I played it on Thursday, guys. Come on. Like I said, Delta, it helps to be able to read, so... You might want to practice that. You might want to practice that. So... Oops. Hey, thanks, Crestline. I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. Thanks for stopping in. Glad you can make the stream tonight. Ugh. Yeah, this theme never gets old. It's great. It's great on Super Nintendo. But yeah, I guess that's it, guys. I mean, I can hang out for another couple minutes if you guys have any questions or comments or anything. But yeah, big shout out to Mr. Boo Radley, who did a super chat earlier tonight, so thank you for that, sir. You're probably not out there anymore, but thank you. No, Timo, I hear that game sucks. Is there a Doom on me? Hey, thanks, Catherine. Yeah, so I will be going live on Twitch in anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes. We're going to be doing some more Final Fight Arcade, so if anyone is curious about that, be sure to check it out. So, I'd say, let's just say within the hour, I'll go live on Twitch. I'll try to get it done sooner than later. Yes, Crestline, I have. Jaguar Doom, yeah. I haven't done a video on Wolfenstein 3D for Jaguar, but I will. I just have to wait for a flash card, an SD-based flash card to come out for the Jaguar, then we'll play Wolfenstein. Yeah, cheers to Judson. He got sucked into another dimension. The timeout dimension. I wonder what it's like there. Do you see any neat shapes and colors? I don't know. Now I'm kind of curious. Shame I can't time myself out. Yep. I can only remove my own comments. It's a lot like this dimension, but you can't talk. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, who knows, Delta? Maybe he did. But, alright guys, I guess that is gonna do it. Now I just have to find the right footage for these Let's Plays. That is probably the one. No Reason is on a roll. I like it. But alright, I guess with that, I don't really see much else coming in here, so let's go ahead and give the old shout out to the Patreon backers again. So thank you guys for your continued support. These are all the people that whose payments went through. We still have a couple that aren't working, so but still, thanks anyway, guys. And hopefully I will see you guys next Thursday. As usual, there should be a Let's Play posted in about 5 hours, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be another NES Let's Play, and then next week will be some Sega CD Let's Plays. You did just miss it, Nate, yeah. So we were supposed to stream East 3 again, Nate, Super Nintendo version, but the save system wasn't working right. It was crashing, so we switched over to Super Nintendo Doom. We just finished it. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. And I guess I'll hopefully see you soon.